Nope. No, no, no. Y'all, I tried. I know I said I was going to grow out this afro of mine. It just wouldn't work. I was striving to look like, you know, Gabe from Gabe and Babe and Whitney and Natural Me 4C. And, you know, I miss all of the natural styles and the twists and the coils and the Bantu knots and all that business. And I know I originally said that I was going to try that product, that organic root stimulator, the, what was it? The Temple Balm. First of all, it smells like pipe cleaner, sulfur-8 or something. And again, for people who didn't see that video, basically, I've been bald for some years, and I have very uneven patches at the front of my hairline. You might not be able to tell now, but I had a seizure and I hit, you know, the sidewalk face first, and it took off some skin permanently in a few places. Then one side of my hairline is kind of higher than the other. My barber goes on and on about it all day. I tried it. It didn't work. I mean, I was washing it like maybe every 2 days because my hair is very, very dry. It was tight, almost like tightly coiled almost. And it had my skin, my scalp just itching really, really bad. And then if it wasn't itching, it was growing in patches. I noticed the front of my head. I mean, I was bringing back the Gumby and the high top fade. It would grow, and it will grow out just a little bit, but it was, that little bit was still a lot longer than it was on the sides, which was just kind of matted down, and the actual outline of my hairline was taking its sweet time growing in. It just looked like stubble where the hair above it was growing out, but not as long as the top. Then in the back, you know how like the babies, they have that bald spot in the back where you sleep? Okay, so I had the bald spot going, but it was growing out to a pretty good length in the back down by the nape of my neck. It was a mess. I mean, I had hair in the back, the bald in the middle, the patches on the side, the high top fade at the top. And my barber told me it's going to grow like that until it all grows out to a length where I could cut it even. And although I believed him, I kind of got it in theory. It was just driving me nuts because it was so dry and I was scratching my scalp so much. Now I have an oil-based moisturizer. I can't think of the name of it right now. I have one of those cheapy African Pride shampoos, but I can say that one makes my hair a little softer. I don't know what the brand is, but it makes my hair a little softer. I'm not one of these people that just goes and buys a product just because it says black or African on it or anything like that. I like the smell of it. I was looking at some of the ingredients. It did have the jojoba oil or jojoba oil, whatever you call it, in it. And I'm always looking for something to moisturize my hair, especially in the shower. And I noticed when I got out, even though I was going to air dry it and it was going to get tight and nappy later, I told you this stuff is not nappy, it's pubic. And I keep saying that for a reason. But even though it was going to air dry later, at the time, it was kind of soft after I came out the shower. Not just because it was wet, but I could really feel the difference. So those were just a couple of the products that I was using because I'm really not a product junkie. Then I would brush my hair out. After I would brush it out, I'd section it as short as it was, though, and make sure that my scalp was moisturized. I admit it, I've been bad. I slept a couple of times without anything on my head because I sleep so well and it falls off, the satin caps and things like that, and also had a wave cap. That's the other story. My head, I tell you. I'm not, you know, I don't want to be offensive and say the word stud, but I'm not a man. I can't walk around with the, you know, the wave brushes, brushing a fade every 5 minutes trying to get it to wave up. I did the hot towels, the sporting waves, you name it. It just would not wave up except for a little bit on the top here. So I said, okay, let me grow it out and see if I can get some more feminine looking styles. It didn't happen. So if I slept with something on my head, I noticed that there wasn't as much dryness, but it wasn't really a whole lot that I could write home about. And when I did have something, when I wasn't sleeping with anything on my head, I also didn't notice that my pillows were as stained. So that just tells me my hair just absorbed moisture. But the other problem is I also sweat into my scalp. Call it that knocking 40 weird phase where your thyroid doesn't know what it wants to do. Premenopause, something. Side note, menopause and bipolar disorder do not work together. They just don't. You know, I don't know if it was my diet or what it was, but all of that to say, my hair is really, really dry. I sweat in my scalp. It's matted when it does grow out. It only grows out on the top. The back of it just looked bald, maybe a quarter of an inch from the middle right here out to my ears. That part was like almost completely bald. And no matter what I would use on it, like the different oils and things, it just wasn't making it grow out enough. So that's my story, and that is why I decided to cut my hair. See? I had to take it off. So if you saw the other video, you might have noticed about an inch on my head. It may not have looked as long, but for me, I was doing good. And it took probably a month to grow out that inch. But for the hell it gave me afterwards, I just couldn't take it anymore with the scratching and the sweating and the unevenness. Even though I have a very good barber, it just, this head of mine is a stepchild. So that's my update. I just wanted to let the natural hair community know that I'm a total fail when it comes to trying to grow my hair out. So it's better when it's bald, even though it's winter. It's okay. I can always put something on my head. I keep my scalp moisturized. It still itches, although it's bald. I still sweat, although it's bald. I told you my head is a stepchild. And it doesn't look too bad. You know, I've gotten compliments on my head, although it's the size of a salad bowl. But that's my rant. I just wanted to say that, you know, I tried it, but nope, I had to cut it. And that is all.